What is a good UCAT score is the wrong question to ask. What's a much better question is, with this UCAT score, where am I likely to get in? So instead of me just reeling off some random thresholds to you and giving you some idea of what's good and what's bad, I'm going to take you through 7 cases where we've seen exactly what's happened in real time, what decisions they've made with that UCAT score, and where that's ended up as a result. So 7 cases, some are high scorers, some are low scorers, and some are those in the middle where it's kind of not sure what they should do with that sort of score. So let's have a look. First, we're going to start with a really high one. I will say that names have been changed for anonymity. You might recognize some of these people, but this one is an insanely high score, 2,640 out of a possible 2,700. I mean, this is like, a testament to the program, but also them for doing so well. It's like one of the highest scores I think I've ever seen. But anyway, with that, of course, this person had their pick of wherever they wanted, the pick of the litter. So they applied to Oxford, Bristol, Newcastle, Imperial, and lo and behold, they got all 4 of those offers. So that's no surprise. So interesting to have that name for somebody who obviously was of Oxford caliber. Next, we have a middle to low graduate. So they scored 1970. So another band 2. So a bit tricky for grads because you need to score really highly. Grad is probably the most competitive alongside international. So this person really needs to have nailed everything. Now, I will say, it is not just about the UCAT. The UCAT is important, and obviously the better you prepare for it and the better you do, the easier you will make your ride, like the last person we talked about. However, I have seen people score insanely high on the UCAT and not get offers because it's all about the rest of your application as well. It's really important. And equally, some of these people who have got this UCAT score, they may have not got in had they not done the rest of the application really well. So really important to bear in mind. Now, so this person, graduate, so really competitive, and an international. Sorry, I forgot that they were both. So really doubly difficult, and not a particularly amazing UCAT score. Not terrible, but not, what we would consider high at FutureDoc. So they applied for Warwick, so Barts / St Mary's, Queen Mary's even, Surrey and Anglia Ruskin. So Warwick, pretty standard, so for grads, it's grad only, has the most graduate places. Bart's notoriously high for requirements for UCAT, and then Surrey and Anglia Ruskin were the safe options. And this person got into Warwick and Surrey, so well done, Ariana Grande. Didn't expect her to be going on to study medicine, but there you go. Next, we have Mr. Attenborough, who decided to have a career change at 100. So this is a dentist now, and a dentist, again, who's done incredibly well. Again, some of the highest scores I've seen, 2,590, band 2. So this person had the dental schools to apply to this time. So Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield, Newcastle, and they got, I think actually, because what happens is that once people have their offers and, they've gone through the program and they've got everything, they kind of tend to go a little bit quiet and not update us. But but what's interesting is that looking at the data, there's a correlation between how long people have been on our program, so really how long we've forced them to start preparing for the UCAT, and how well they do and how highly they score, obviously. So there is a good correlation there that's worth noticing. So then we've got Mr. Johnson, who has got a little bit more time in his hands now and is going as an undergrad. So this is somebody who has a good undergrad score. So 2,300, band 1, obviously very good. This person wanted to apply to Cambridge, Bristol, Edinburgh, and King's College London. Once they got their place at Cambridge and KCL, they, accepted those as firm and insurance, and that was it. I don't think they even went to their Bristol or Edinburgh interview because they had their place. So that's really interesting to see kind of what you can do with that sort of score. Next, we have Miss Robbie. So this is what I'd say now, looking at the next 3 are going to be kind of what are maybe a typical and then the lowest that you can get. Now, what I would say is that this particular person is an advocate for getting help and starting early, because this person was really struggling. I think they were scoring 1,600 and getting stuck at that and really not preparing properly. And when they joined the FutureDoc program, they really like we could see the way that they were practicing wasn't right. So we managed to get that score up to, a pretty decent score. I'd say that's an average 1950 and band two. So really well done to them. And that opened some options. So we ended up, again, what I will say is that it's not just about your UCAT score, your grades. The universities that you choose and that are available to you are much wider than the kind of bog standard things that people look at. So, you really want to look at what strengths your application has compared to what that university wants. So it's not just as simple numbers matching. However, you want to know what UCAT scores are good and what's available to you based on UCAT scores. So that's why we're doing this. But it's much more complicated than a kind of, get this UCAT score applied to here, right? So anyway, this person applied to Birmingham, Liverpool, Leeds, and Cardiff, and they got just one offer at Birmingham, right? So, like I say, it's not just about the UCAT. I'd say that there are, really what you need is an interconnected system, because what happens is that all these other things feed into another. And I'll show you what the low UCAT scorers did and how they got in. But what's really important is that how you do, how you write how you do your work experience feeds into your personal statement, feeds into how your interview goes, your UCAT and your university choices, they all mesh, like I said. So it's really important to not just think, I'm just going to do UCAT lessons or I'm just going to do this. You need an interconnected system where somebody is coordinating all of that stuff to make sure that it marries up. And that's why some of these not great scores have got into great universities, is because those parts add up to more than the sum of their parts, and that's how they do well. So if you want to have some help, you can join the Future Doc program, where you can apply to join and we can help you. We've got a 93% success rate and a guarantee that if you don't get in, you go again for free. So let's look at those low scorers now. So again, this isn't actually the lowest grad that we had. We had someone get into a grad course with an 1800, right? But this is a good one because this is a good testament to, like I mentioned, the guarantee. This person actually came to the Future Doc last year, didn't get in, and carried on with us. So they were really struggling with the UCAT, and it really was their their bête noire, their thing that they couldn't seem to crack. And here's someone to take encouragement from, because you can learn it and you can get better, and also you can still get in even with not amazing scores if you kind of make up for it elsewhere, right? So and it's also a testament to just keep going until you get in, because this person really want it. They worked really hard. And the UCAT, I will say, is they've done studies on how UCAT scores correlate to how well people do at medical school, and there's actually no correlation. So if you're not very good at it and if you're struggling with it, it's a necessary evil, but it is not it doesn't mean anything about you and your ability to be a doctor and your merit or how much you deserve to be a doctor. So keep that in mind and don't be discouraged, but it's just a really annoying hurdle that you're going to have to get through. So this person was one of those people, right? And they just kept plugging away, and we made sure that we got them in. And this time they applied to Southampton, St George's, Worcester, and Plymouth. So they were doing the GAMSAT as well, but we managed to get them a place at Southampton. And so, look out for Mr. Beast on Southampton campus this September. So final one, this was the lowest grad that we had. So lowest undergrad, So undergrad, they were applying as a grad, but they applied to some of the undergrad courses as well. So 1770 band 2 was the lowest a Future Doc student scored that got into university. And I'm sure there are probably a couple of people out there who will say, oh, well, I got even lower than that and I still got in. But this is the ones that we have from the data that we gather at the end, and it's not perfect. So there are lots of people who don't respond, but this is what we've got from our data. Now, this person applied to a couple of other grad ones, but they applied to Edinburgh and Nottingham undergraduate, and they got a place at Edinburgh. So, it can be done. It's really interesting to know what your scores are. If you want to go to the Future Doc website, there's a 6-step phase of our UCAtalyst method. It's the 6 steps that you need to do to prepare to score your best. or if you want some help with finding out what universities you should apply to and how you should set up your application, check out the FutureDoc website. We've got loads of free information, and if you want our support, you can apply to join the Predictable Offer Protocol, which, like I said, has a 93% success rate and a guarantee that if you don't go again, get in, you go again for free. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.